Okay, so my UFC 271 outcome of my bets and predictions. Here's what happened with my bets and predictions. So when Roxanne Modafferi was fighting fucking Casey O'Neill won that one. Good on Casey, but it was like I said that Casey was going to win, but I also said that I was betting on Roxanne Modafferi because I'm her fan, and I'm totally still her fan. And as far as that goes, like she retired and everything yesterday, which was totally awesome. She's still like one of the greatest females to ever be in the sport. I believe she's a true warrior. She's a true champion to a certain extent and all that stuff. Even though she didn't win her last fight, it was great to see her last fight. And then the Kyler Phillips one, I actually won that one, so I feel great for winning that one because a couple points up. I know I should have bet on Casey O'Neill because I was like, okay, she's on a hot streak and all that stuff seemed like a sure thing, but I had to bet on Roxanne Modafferi last time. But this Kyler Phillips one though, that was cool. I was really lucky to win that one. I cannot remember what happened with the Kyler Phillips and Marcelo Rojo match though. Like I'll post what the decision is right here. Yeah, that's what happened. And then as for Jared Cannonier and Derek Brunson, I just I kind of saw it coming. Like when I saw the Jared Cannonier versus Derek Brunson match, like later on in the match, you could see Jared Cannonier kind of like figuring Derek Brunson out. And then once Jared Cannonier figured out Derek Brunson, that's when Jared Cannonier unleashed hell and just knocked Derek Brunson out. Like it was a good match, and it was a really good match. And then the heavyweight bout, I bet on Derek Lewis because I'm a Derek Lewis fan. That's another one. Like I gotta stop being a fanboy when I make my bets. But there's two bets here that I made that were fanboy bets. That was Roxanne Modafferi and Derek Lewis, right? Like, but as for the Derek Lewis versus Tai Tuivasa match, like Tai Tuivasa, like really impressive, like really impressive. Like I said this after I saw the match, I was like, Tai Tuivasa should fucking get like a title shot and stuff like that. Like seriously, like that was a really impressive match. Like because Derek Lewis literally had fucking Tai Tuivasa on the ground, and he was like his head was like bouncing up and down and stuff like that. You could see Tai kind of smiling a bit, but like Derek Lewis almost had him. I swear to God that Derek Lewis was like being almost overly confident. Okay, he's on the ground. I got him. All I got to do is hit him a couple more times. But and then Tai Tuivasa got back up and he ended up fucking winning. You know what I mean? That big elbow at the end there that Tai Tuivasa gave Derek Lewis was pretty amazing. Like, even though Tai Tuivasa cost me $7, I really respect him as a fighter, and like that was a really good, entertaining fight. I love that match. Now, as for Israel Adesanya versus Robert Whitaker, I did bet on Israel Adesanya, and I won. Like my starting was like I was going to originally bet $100, and then the Wicked Witch wrongfully evicted me, so I started to save up money for something else. So I saved that other $52 on something else. So I bet $48, and when I bet that $48, I ended up walking away with $35, which I mean it's not that bad overall considering if you take into account my UFC 270 bet. Like by the end of the year, when I do all 12 numbered events or whatever of UFC for this year, like when I do all of them and bet on all of them this year, like the plan is to bet $100 per. By the end of the year, I feel, because it's gambling and this is a hobby of mine, right? Like I feel like odds are, I'll be in the red, but I fucking love gambling and I love the UFC, so I'm going to keep betting on it. But as for Israel Adesanya versus Robert Whitaker, it was a really good, entertaining fight, I thought, because I thought, hey, like Robert Whitaker has a fucking chance here. Like if Robert Whitaker fought as hard as he did in like the last couple of rounds, I believe that maybe the fight would have turned around the other way. You know what I mean? But like Israel Adesanya's reach was harder for Whitaker to get around and all that stuff. Like, I mean, maybe his wrestling game would have kind of like affected him. You know what I mean? Maybe if he took him down a couple times, but again, like that takedown defense from Adesanya was just too strong for Whitaker to overcome. But it was a really entertaining fight overall, really good card overall. Like I wish I could have bet on it more, but like it was a good fucking night for fights. And like I really respect Tai Tuivasa. Like out of all the fights that fucking happened in UFC 271 there, like that Tai Tuivasa fucking fight, like I'm just like, wow, man, Tai Tuivasa. I'm a new Tai Tuivasa fan now, like even though I was a fan of his drinking fucking shots out of the shoe and stuff like that, like fucking drinking beer out of people's shoes and stuff like that. Now after seeing him knock out Derek Lewis, I'm like, okay, I'm a fan of this guy. There's right. But ultimately, I was a Derek Lewis fan. Still am a Derek Lewis fan. Respect Derek Lewis, but like now though, like I'm really excited to see where Tai Tuivasa takes his career and things like that, and I will be looking forward to betting on the next one for UFC 272. I'm telling you right now, I'm betting on Jorge Masvidal, but that's only because I'm a Jorge Masvidal fan. You know what I mean? Like, as far as his opponent goes, like anything could happen, and whatever the odds say, like a lot of the times the odds are going to be right. But I'm definitely looking forward to this year's fights and UFC events and stuff like that. And I love watching them and all that. It's great. It's great. You know what I mean? This time around, though, I had to do the whole YouTube podcast, listen to people watching the fights and stuff like that, which was like, ah. But that's, because I'm saving up money, right? Get that new place, get my life in order and all that jazz. But those were my UFC 271 bets. And I hope you had fun watching the event and all that stuff. And like, it was, overall though, like that Tuivasa versus Derek Lewis fight, that was the one that stuck out the most for me. Cheers to respect all you fight fans and betting junkies out there. Take care.